You're listening to virtual interactive chat like you've never heard before. We are discussing issues from both sides of the political spectrum every night. Join us as we take on the two-party system. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim with Sarah, and we are here to talk to you guys about politics. Welcome. Wasteful Wednesday. We've been on a long road trip, and we will be back early August, right? Roughly?
Yeah, early to mid-August.
I'm thinking early because we have shortened our trip considerably because of these damn mosquitoes, which we found out Sarah's completely...
It likes me.
She's completely allergic to.
Yeah.
She's got bites all over her body. Oops, there we go. I think I got it. I'm up to 4 out of 4 so far. I've been whacking these mosquitoes.
I decided to wear short sleeves tonight. So
5 out of 5.
You guys can tell me if you see any landing on my arms.
Yeah. No, when we go out, you have to wear netting, right?
Yeah, I should have worn it tonight, I guess.
You could have worn it in the show, right?
I know. It would have been funny. Yeah.
The Mobile Travel Center has been great. We have the ability to park anywhere near a high-speed Wi-Fi outlet, and we're able to leech off of that Wi-Fi outlet enough speed to get to a VPN in Singapore, which disguises our IP address, because as you know, I have numerous death threats and haters who are trying to pinpoint me. I understand Mark is offering money to people to find me. I have not confirmed that, but that's what I hear. We're going to be in hotels and in this mobile travel center during the show, Monday through Friday, because there's kind of a lot going on and very little going on at the same time in the news today. The MTC has been a very useful tool for us, and we have mobile, battery systems, and we're using the combination of the bad green screen effect along with a couple of LED lights and a backup battery system with a light on it as our main light source down here. You can see my hands. I can do a hand puppet show up here if I really wanted to.
Oh, that's true. That's funny. I guess mine is.
You'd have to go over by the light to see the light.
Okay,
see the light, mother. And you shall see the light. Anyway, we have the best Wi-Fi we can get. We got about 7 or 8 megabytes per second upload to a VPN, which then gives us a little delay of a signal, but it's the best way we can do the show.
I know.
David, who was Dr. Mount? He was a person we brought into the show who had nothing but conspiracy theories to talk about, and he used to come on Mount Monday, and I actually said, I'm going to change the name to Conspiracy Monday because that's all he would talk about, it was conspiracy theories. So Conspiracy Monday was what we had. So Conspiracy Monday became a big part of our show. He left the show, though, because he didn't like the fact that we called him a conspiracy theorist. And he, in turn, then joined the Lucis Trust Association, or Lucis Trust Fund. He was so proud of that. I couldn't believe that he joined this, because at the time I was researching Lucis Trust, I found out that they were created by Luciferians. And I told him that was a bad move, and that was the last I ever talked to him ever again. And he's become a YouTube star as a result of his affiliation with the Lucis Trust, a Luciferian organization. So he makes a lot of money. And Sarah, were you a little bit shocked that he made a lot of money on YouTube? That he's making like $100,000 on conspiracy stuff?
Yes, I'd be shocked. I think it's bizarre. I don't like the guy.
Well, he gets YouTube AdSense dollars, and he gets a lot of support from YouTube AdSense. And apparently he's cut this deal with the dark side. Got it. No, I didn't. It's an elusive one.
It's still elusive.
Man, this is a tough one. Oh, this is the worst. Whack-a-mole. We're playing whack-a-mole here with whack-a-mosquito. You'll have to excuse us if our whacking sound is disturbing.
All right.
I think I may have gotten it. Wow.
I don't know.
Although it's resting, I think.
Yeah, it's coming back for round 2.
Anyway, it was shocking. And, as you know, folks, I've made nothing doing these shows and dealing with issues far more critical to the country than he deals with. And he's kind of a Trump supporter, so, and ever since he broke off contact with me and made very horrifying statements about me, which I have copies of in his videos, I was kind of shocked that we literally invited this guy into our home. And he virtually turned on us like a viper, and I've never seen anything like this before. I've never said a bad word to him other than I think it was a mistake to join Luciferians. That's all I said to him. And I don't avoid talking about conspiracies. I have a Conspiracy Monday show dedicated to that, so you're out for a while. I take on conspiracies, and even Truth Tuesdays dedicated to the truther movement about the 9/11 attack being a possible false flag. Or worse, people died and they just did it to justify a war in Iraq and Afghanistan. So, yeah. I'm working on my abs too okay, I'll be on mosquito
patrol.
patrol.
David was talking about Dr. Mount. Do you remember him, Antique? He was around the same time as Hoppy.
Yeah, so thanks for asking about him, but we parted our ways, and he's making lots of money on YouTube as an AdSense star. Yeah. I call them YouTube stars, but they're really AdSense stars. They just suck into the system like shills.
Yes. Celebration, that's who David was talking about.
Oh, little baby mosquito. Little baby was just took its life. A bug zapper would be great. I've been looking for those. I can't find a battery-operated bug zapper anywhere. Does anybody have access to the battery-operated bug? Don't Google it, please. Okay, well, all I know is that conspiracies are not something I want to talk about on a daily basis.
The thing is, I don't think I'll be here that long to invest in a bug zapper.
Yeah, we're getting the heck out of Dodge because we can't stand this environment where Sarah is afraid she's going to get bitten again.
Afraid? I don't know.
Well, you're not afraid, but that's a bad word. You're happy that you're going to get bitten again.
I'm sorry. I'm purposely ignoring all of it, MS PowerPoint, because I don't like to hear about... I mean, sure, I guess I don't like to hear about all the...
That's a baby.
Blood-eating... What?
Yeah. Whatever.
And Uma Abedin. I mean, David's talked about it to me, and
I don't talk about it in the show much. Talking about this horrible
thank you
picture.
for revealing that.
The New York PD officers, if you want to get down to the truth, the New York PD officers that were recently shot point blank, and they call it a suicide, that's a serious problem. There's a cover-up going on about the emails of Anthony Weiner. 600,000 emails never saw the light of day. That's suspicious. And there's also a problem at the border. Last week, 2 border agents shot themselves in the head 300 miles away at almost the same day. And that to me means that those border agents were probably saying, hey, I'm not going to put up with this human rights abuse. I'm not going to, then they're going to say, hey, we're going to make you a lesson, and shoots the guy right there and tells all the other border agents they're next. So this is what's happening. They're using coercion to manipulate the border agents with physical violence, like shooting them. And I really believe without a solid investigation into their deaths, 2 border agents just don't blow themselves away like they did last week. And 2 New York PD officers, one entering a retirement era, with the following week he would have collected his check. You know what the check in New York PD is, like $100,000 or more per year for retirement.
Yeah.
He kills himself. And these are the 2 people that saw the 600,000 emails that Anthony Weiner had.
Well,
they were privy to it.
And that's probably what MS PowerPoint is saying, that there's videos being released, and that one was with Abedin, and
people say who looked at these pictures or whatever say they're horrific beyond belief. So I don't even talk about conspiracies with Sarah. We don't even discuss this. At all.
I guess the reason I don't talk about conspiracies is I feel like I want to focus on the future and what I can do to help the future.
I do too.
I feel like talking about conspiracies, or that's an issue.
What if you have a really corrupt group of people that are still engaged in murder, suicide, cover-ups, and you're trying to help the future?
But you're
right. What if
right.
you do?
I mean, that is true. I mean, look at the current
government
office. We watched the news today for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, it's really interesting to me because I did listen to James Comey's biography.
You read his biography?
Or I listened to it, his autobiography, and he was basically blindsided out of office.
Was it?
And yeah, he didn't even know he was leaving office.
Oh yeah.
He found out on the news that he had resigned.
Yeah. On the news.
He found out he had resigned.
Right.
By watching the news.
Amazing.
But yet the news clip today was that who was it? The labor secretary
Acosta,
refuses to
Step
resign.
down. He's not going to resign. This is the first time he spoke about it too. Acosta didn't even talk about Epstein until today. It's
even
amazing.
with the Epstein deal. I mean,
I know.
That's really...
She's upset about that.
And I'm upset because, I mean, Trump's gone through so many people in his administration and good people, and it's just like he gets rid of good people and leaves these people.
Yeah.
And which shows his true colors.
True. Trump gets rid of the good people. You know, Rex Tillerson was going to the bathroom when he was told by John Kelly that he was being fired. Rex Tillerson was literally on the toilet when he was told, "You're fired." And you know, John Kelly and Rex Tillerson had a group pact with General Mattis that if any one of them was fired, they'd all resign.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what Trump has done, and he's replaced these people like Shanahan, who is completely corrupt and has some serious ethics issues. Shanahan, the former CEO of Boeing, and now Boeing's in the heat. Shanahan's our current Secretary of Defense, which puts our country in a very weird position. Okay, AI trained on old scientific papers. Okay. So you've got a story, Max, about AI. Well, this is a challenge and a half.
Epstein was a manager for the Beatles?
No,
What?
No, Brian Epstein.
Oh, Brian Epstein. That's
Yeah.
somebody completely different.
That's not Jeffrey Epstein, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring this in to the show.
Different person.
Different person entirely. Desktop. Okay. AI trained on old scientific papers makes discoveries humans miss. Scientists used machine learning to reveal new scientific knowledge hidden in old research papers. Using just the language of millions of old scientific papers, a machine learning algorithm was able to make completely new scientific discoveries. Wow. Okay. It discovered new algorithms. Great. Then spit out predictions for possible thermoelectric materials which convert heat to energy and are used in many heating and cooling applications. The algorithm didn't know the definition of thermoelectric, though it received no training in materials science. Using only word associations, the algorithm was able to provide candidates for future thermoelectric materials, ideal to make better use of the current materials so that they could create better thermoelectric materials using a word search. That is fantastic, and I want to thank you for that link. Thank you very much, Max. Back to you, Sarah. We're doing pretty well considering the cast is just kicking off. First 15 minutes of recorded broadcast.
Yeah, good job.
Well, you know, I think anyone could say that Mylar would work really well with... well, I can't tell you the answer to that question because if I told you, I'd be revealing possible patent secrets that I'm working on. So I can't discuss that. But Mylar works with other polymers to actually create barriers of heat that are almost unbelievable. So it doesn't surprise me that they did that. Hey, you're not allowed to cut and copy a nonsense in the show. That's just not acceptable. That's another mute. Yeah, we have people that are actually thinking and critical thinkers in our room. So if you're just cutting and copying some garbage from some 4chan room, that's a mutable offense. Yeah. It's not, we don't need to read that crap. We're all like sitting here reading this nonsense that somebody's posting. The shirt I decided to go with today, because we're going for a different look, is just my average shirt I walk around Walmart in. Okay, now this is another story. Vampire sex cult leader allegedly cut Tinder date into 14 pieces. I'm not really sure if I can take that right now. That's just a little too gross for me. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that, but let me move this mic over to your side, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm
Sounds
just trying
good.
to add. I'm going to address
Okay.
that story
think
right
it's
there.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't go there right now, Max. It's just I've got too many mosquitoes I'm fighting in here.
You want me to do it?
No, I got it. I don't want to talk about something so heinous as not with you in the show. Yeah, could you keep these links a little bit sweeter? You know, talking about somebody in a sex cult is really inappropriate for our group show tonight. Something a woman would want to talk about, like composting. We could talk all night long about composting.
Well, everybody knows Sarah loves composting.
I got 6 now. I've taken out 6
It's weird
mosquitoes.
that like so many come after me,
I know.
or I think they're just coming after me. Maybe it's me. They really don't like.
Well, you looked at my legs. You saw 30 of them on my legs.
I know.
And I said, Sarah, I
said,
don't even
"What's-"
feel them. That's how amped up I am on this trip. I don't even feel mosquito bites. I haven't scratched one mosquito bite since I got on the road. So it's like I don't even feel them. So there's something going on with my limbic system that is preventing me from actually experiencing any type of reaction to the bugs that are flying around the area. Gosh, they're just so ugly and gross. I hate them. I don't know if I got it or not.
We'll find
They're
it.
they're just hanging around ready to point their little thing in your body and suck blood. The reply was no reply. That's correct.
Sorry. No reply. Wait, what? Okay, New York Times. In your compost bucket, you have vegetable scraps, eggshells, and coffee grounds. What else should you add? A little bit. Well, when you're ready to do your compost bucket, you need to do layers of dirt and red wriggler worms. And you should. And no, I missed what you were saying because I was focused on moving around my screen. MS.
You know, I met a lady with who got bit by a tick last week at a place we were
Sarah,
visiting.
can you say you don't? You can
Don't bother with that.
say
It's a
you
waste
don't
of
care,
time.
but I do care. I do care.
No, he's an idiot. He's just
I
trying to
do
trigger
care
response
about
from you.
children. I do care about
He's,
life.
he's baiting you with that statement. In fact, let's ban him.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to
Okay.
ban people just because they think I don't care. I do care. I just don't. Maybe I'm frustrated because I feel like helpless, like I can't solve problems.
Harbor
or-
Freight has a zapper. Okay, well, we've got to get to a Harbor Freight. There's only 475 of them in the U.S. One is located approximately 37 miles away. Jesus. Unbelievable. We're only at baiting. We're the mosquito zapper. We got the light on in here. Okay. I was accessing mental memory. My chip is completely active and giving me real-time information.
The fact is, I care so much that it's just too depressing, and then I will, if I focus on it that much, then it will take me away from. I think you got it. I saw it drop.
That's
Good
8.
job.
8 I've killed tonight. We'll have a total count of mosquitoes by the end of the show.
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
moving on.
Well, you know, I'm at the point where I'd rather talk about Home Depot than politics. So, how would you build a
have
compost
heard
heap?
that.
How would you build a compost heap ideally? Would you get cedar?
Well, I'll tell you the ones that I have that work really well. They're made out of cedar wood. They have 2 sections. They're about the width of a car, I would say, but the big thing is that they have 2 sections. And they have a closing lid. The 2 sections, it's one big box, but then in the middle you do wood across, but that you leave spaces in the wood that is separating the middle,
Right.
so that it's about finger width between the spacing, so that worms can crawl from one section to the other. And the reason you do that is so that, well, worms can crawl from one section to the other, but you fill up you dig this, it has an open bottom so that you actually dig it into the ground. Yes, I'm a verma tech, I guess you could call me. I guess that's what I am. I'm a verma tech.
Oh, I'm just coming. Okay, I'm going to turn the air conditioning on. I put up with this long enough. Look at my hands. I got like 8 of them on my hands. I think I'm up to 10 mosquitoes. She can talk about that. I'm going to go ahead and start the engines.
Okay.
Gentlemen, start your engines. 40,000 fire-breathing funny cars ready to go to
So
take these mosquitoes out.
you build these things. I would say it's like the minimum for a house system would be 2 feet wide by 4 feet. 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 2 feet long.
I got it.
4 feet long. Anyway, so each one is like 2 by 2 by 2. So 4 square feet.
Right.
And then the bottom of the cedar box is actually open. And you dig it down into the ground about 1 feet, maybe 1.5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lid on it. And you have this middle section. The middle section, you separate the middle so with wood, but with finger, like little spaces in between the wood that the worms can crawl through. Though it's open so that when you dig it into the ground, because then you want the worms to, actually they live underground, and that way they're living at their same level, and they don't get too cold or too hot. Oh, I did get it. And you leave those finger spaces because you fill up one side, and then when you're totally full with one side, you start filling up the other side, and when you're 3/4 full with the second side, it's time to empty the first side. And also when it looks like soil.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
You can talk a little
So,
when it's close to you.
oh yes. Some common misconceptions of home composting is it's too complicated, it'll smell funny, and it's messy. These are all true. These can be true if you compost the wrong way. One thing that I've learned, I've tried, and you can compost meat, but actually if you compost meat, milk, and cheese, it actually
You want a hot cocoa?
Sure. Even though then I'll have to use the restroom later. That's fine. Oh, goodness. Then, I was going to save my compost and bring it home, but now I'm using it in a school garden. And the school garden, we're growing flowers and food. It's really fantastic. We are traveling Radio 1010. And anyway, yeah, you don't want to compost milk, meat, and cheese for 2 reasons. 1, it can attract other vermin. Maybe 3 reasons. 2, no, of course not, New York EMT. 2, it takes a long time to decompose. And 3, there was a recent study that said that the worms with the composting of milk, meat, and cheese, they're just not as healthy as others. I mean, you can do it, and in nature they do it. I mean, of course, milk, meat, and cheese has to break down some way. Final Dream says, reason 3, cheese is only a few molecules away from being plastic. Well, especially the American cheese. What? Wait, you started doing that too? That's hilarious. Oh. Oh, that's a good point, Reptoid. Not much milk hits the ground in nature. Am I artificial intelligence? No, I'm more intelligent than artificial intelligence. I'm RI. I'm not AI. I'm RI. Real intelligence. I could compost mosquitoes and rodents. That would be good. None? Wow, that's pretty crazy. So that's why that happens? I'm real RI, Sarai. It'll be say RI. Real intelligence. Yep, I don't need nothing artificial about me. No, I'm not AI. There's nothing artificial about me. I'm all real. 100% real. Okay. I'm sorry. This is a problem. I will tell you when I'm home why I went on this awesome trip. Of course, it would be lovely to see all of you on this awesome trip. But you know how David campaigns, so I would never do that, New York EMT. I'm very loyal to David. I'll always be loyal to David. Doesn't matter what happens in the garden of my mind or reality. I'll always be loyal to David. That's what matters. So anyway, more about composting, more about life. I understand MS PowerPoint, how you feel and all the problems, but I like the idea of picnicking. Thank you, New York EMT. Well, I'm glad your final dreams. Well, I want David to be happy. I'll say that. And I'm more not into anything. So that's how I feel. But David, to me, I'm always amazed at how much David loves me and how much I know MS PowerPoint, but I'll tell you why we don't do that. Yes, G. Gordon Liddy, I would say that pretty much describes me. I do love my job and my students, and I do love David, but yeah, it's always amazing, to me, just how much David loves me. I mean, he's taken me on this awesome trip, which I want to go on, and he reminds me of we're coming on this trip because you wanted to go. And I'm like, yes, that's true. So, but you agreed to come with me. So, it's not jealousy of me. It goes way back further than that, Free Epstein. Yes, that's true. It's good no matter how much you guys are bad or not.
That's hot cocoa.
Thank you. See, he just got me a hot cocoa. How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
I was just telling people how I'm amazed how much you love me and show your love for me, and
thank you.
Like going on this trip with me, and
yeah, it was great.
Even though you're not, it's not the most pleasant experience, but
I need to do this.
You tell me how I wanted to come, but you're supportive of me, and how you're willing to, you talk about we've been talking about our future and a lot lately, and how one of the things that really, well, what I really has just
that's just you're out of
amazed me
here.
lately.
You're out of
Hey,
here.
no.
He's out of
I was
here.
gonna say I really like chapstick.
Okay, he's out of here. He's.
But
he
one
can't
of the
come in here and
things
act
I
like
know,
that.
one of the things that really amazes me is, like, we've been talking about our future and how David, like, he wants to build his future around my future. And
Okay, I'm
how he
gonna
says
pull you
things.
off. Anybody who's attacking this show, you're wasting your time. We know you're T-Rucker people. We know what you're up to. Don't even come in here and try that. Sarah doesn't touch the mute position, but I'm going to mute you and ban you if you keep coming in here trying to act like we shouldn't do a show. We know full well that your goal is to shut us down. We know that. Epstein's in jail till the 12th, where his bail hearing starts.
There's two of them down there.
They stop. Notice how they become kind of frozen?
Well, they go
the
to the
cold air
ground,
happens,
but
yeah.
I see two or three of them.
They must have got in before I went out the door open.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's fine.
yeah, it's really kind of important that I go out. I have a safe house that we had to get to, and we couldn't do it any other way than to hit the road. And we had to literally get to that safe house to make it better, because we had a few improvements we had to make. And let me turn down the jets here. I can control this.
No, I'm good. I'm good because I've got, like, my jacket on, which I need on because they started biting my elbow. So,
oh my gosh, really? Oh, well, it's good you got your jacket on.
I'm good with, like, this.
Well, the thing is, I hadn't actually been on a trip since 2012 with Sarah, and I said, if we don't do it now, with the election coming up next year, I want to be 100%. My reaction time for mosquitoes is increasing my ability to speak on stage. So instantaneous capabilities.
I know you wanted to do this, and we got it done. We're here. We're doing it.
We're doing it. So you get a chance to talk to us about what Epstein's doing in your mind, and I personally am appalled that Acosta didn't step down. Trump is breeding a climate of incredible corruption, and he seems to be endorsing all the worst people.
You got it, maybe.
Well, they're fleeing for their life because they know that they're in a refrigerator right now, and they got the instantaneous mosquito guy here. Next year's foods prices are going to be astronomical. I mean, right now you're paying $2.50 for a can of tuna. Next year it'll be $3.50. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And pretty soon you'll be buying tuna that's got, scrub in it. Yeah, we know that T. Rucker's still alive, and we know that he's been doing shows as Ghost.
We
know that.
We definitely have been enjoying the low gas prices, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that was a deal he cut with the devil, making a deal with a man who killed Khashoggi. Or did he? Because we don't know for sure that Khashoggi actually died. There's no actual DNA evidence confirming that the suitcase full of bones was Jamal Khashoggi. So I think the Democrats are a little bit off edge. I do like the fact that Trump did forge a deal to keep our prices low on gas, and I think that's going to be a major play in the upcoming election. If the gas prices remain low, Trump could very well win the 2020 election if there's no third-party candidate to compete against him. But honestly, doing a deal with Prince MBS, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is just a very... It almost looks like Putin put that deal together.
Good night, G. Gordon Liddy.
Take care.
Thanks for coming in our show.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Good to know, Epstein.
But Epstein has definitely been slipping by
Or free, I should say.
the judicial process with using lots of lawyers, and Epstein has more control than people realize. I think he's got Mossad connections, Epstein does, and I believe that he's got enough power to actually overturn any case against him. But right now he's in the public eye finally. It's taken all of, 3 years of discussing this subject. It's taken 3 years of discussing the subject. Truly.
Okay. Yeah.
Tom, you're not allowed to do this. Again, if you make any references to another show, I will ban you again, and this will be permanent, Tom. This will be the end of the road for you.
Well, we are campaigning. We're doing this show.
The fact that we do a show every day on the road is a true testimony to the American spirit and what we're trying to fight. We don't need people like Jeffrey Epstein controlling our politicians like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, and of course Donald Trump. We don't need these background Mossad agents controlling the underbelly of politics. Right now, the mainstream media's political discussion is so mindless, they won't even talk about the real issues. Nancy Pelosi is often in creating a certain amount of political capital for herself, and the currency of revenue of currency is up for her. And Ocasio-Cortez, AOC as they call her, is pounding away her message of just get me press, just get me noticed, I just want to be seen. And she seems to be like a glutton, Ocasio, a glutton for attention. So she's doing everything she can to get to push Pelosi. They have not talked, by the way, at all.
Oh.
They're completely at each other's throats. The progressives, led by Ocasio, and the moderates, led by Pelosi, won't even go discuss issues. The immigration bill that they want to put together isn't being forged to be concerned about the illegal immigrants being treated like in a concentration camp. And Pelosi's not even attending to that issue of the concentration act. And now I think that these refugees are being treated like in a concentration camp. And if anyone in America cares, and I know many of you do, our president could care less about the quality of life of these poor people. He's doing nothing to help protect them. Okay, flooding swamps, New Orleans, possible hurricane coming up next. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Welcome to the show. Sorry if we're a little sidetracked here. We've got numerous things going on. Can you take that mic and put it right over there for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, you can.
See, what's ironic is we literally can't even sit in an air-conditioned car because we've got mosquitoes in here that are still alive, that are evading the air conditioning. If you can imagine that. So if Sarah seems preoccupied, it's because now she's trying to find the mosquitoes that are in the car, even though the air conditioning is on. And she's putting rub cream on. Look at your hands. They're full of bites. It's unbelievable.
Oh, they
can't really see it because their bites are so small.
No, they can see it. You can definitely see that.
You can see those bites, can't you, people? Okay, let's take a look at this story. Thank you, everybody.
It looks like I'm ill, but that's just mosquito bites.
It's just the mosquitoes. Floods. Oh my goodness. Floods swamping New Orleans. Possible hurricane coming next. Boy, this is all predicted. And the chemtrails keep flying above America. Everywhere these storms come, 2 days prior, the chemtrails are flying. Torrential rains. Look at New Orleans. This is unbelievable. Let's go to the YouTube video. Look at this, Sarah. Wow. It's crazy.
You're gonna move it over a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've seen enough. Thank you. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, and then we got another link from Scissor Fight. Max has something too. Okay. Thank you for the tiny URL. All right, let's get back into the news, folks. That's why you're here. Let's give you some what you need. We're gonna give you. Yeah, I've got a thing about the vampire sex cult, but I can't play it right now. I'll get to that later. Okay, the federal government is now spending red velvet chocolate. No. Yeah, I kind of don't want to get the link here. The federal department is now spending $100 billion per month. Wow. One federal department is, for the first time in our nation's history, there's now a federal department spending an average of more than $100 billion per month. It's called the Department of Defense.
No, it's not the Department of Defense.
Oh,
it's the
not.
Department of Health and Human Services.
Really? So all of that Obamacare is finally coming back and haunting us. Department of Human Services is costing us $100 billion a month. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Scissor Fight, for the link. That's not what I wanted.
Well, that's why I put it back over there.
No, I like it over here.
I know.
I didn't know where it was. Okay, so we got that happening, and then Max had a story about droids from Forbes. Let me take a look. Or Sarah has to put on salve as she's doing the show. Okay, we're keeping that car running the whole time tonight. This is ridiculous. No, it's just absolutely insane. We're getting to a new location tomorrow, I think. We've about had it with these mosquitoes. Poor Sarah has a complete allergy to this.
I do have an allergy to it.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
surprised
just...
everybody else doesn't. I mean, I didn't think it was just that I was just weird like this, but like this was unusual. Like, I thought everybody reacted this way to mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But they don't. Some people get bit, like David, and they're like, I didn't even feel it.
Yeah, I don't even feel it. I truly don't.
And it doesn't swell up. Like, I see some red dots on him.
But there's
so
no
I can
swelling.
tell, like, he's been bit. But, like, me, it doesn't just, like, create a red dot. It's like a welt.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single one was a welt before.
Okay, apparently this story is important. I'm going to take it in, Max. Hang on just a second. You guys have a desire to show some stories here. 25 million Androids phones have been infected with malware that hides in WhatsApp. Oh my God.
It's a good thing I never downloaded that app.
Yeah, so WhatsApp, owned by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, is now a hub of potential malware activity. Wow. Let me get a special effect on that so I can at least make that go away. Yeah, this has been a non-stop disaster for the mosquitoes. We have never encountered so many mosquitoes in our life. I think it's the chemtrails that have caused this. The mosquito outbreak in America.
I do think it might be global climate change.
Well, I think the chemtrails have led to global climate change.
Okay, sure.
That's my supposition. I've been talking about it for some time, but many people seem to ignore it. And what do you have? A live leak story? Better be good.
Oh, gosh.
Ethiopian riots in Israeli clip. Okay, let's take a look at Ethiopians rioting. The police killing 17-year-old Solomon Teka in North Israel this week. Wow. Just happened. Massive outrage. Apparently, they didn't want this death to go unnoticed. Ethiopia. Okay. Now back to you in the air-conditioned studio. Go ahead, Chef. Raging in Israel going on. It's the Ethiopians are raging in Israel, not Ethiopia. Thank you. That was muted. Well, did you want me to play it with a large volume? I mean, no. No, I can't. No. No, I'm not going to unban New York. You guys think you're going to troll our show? You really think so? It doesn't work that way. I own the horizontal and the vertical on this show, so you don't come in here and troll our show, even on vacation. I'm a seasoned chat expert, and I can tell you that you're dealing with the best here, okay?
Sorry if any volume comes in on video and it's too loud. We are not able to hear our volume for some reason. I don't know.
Whispers, suspicion about Epstein on Caribbean Island. Remember when we first talked about this scissor fight? The story about Jeffrey Epstein was just front row center about 3 years ago. And now it's finally reached the mainstream media. So it takes 3 years for the mainstream media to take on a story that we talked about 3 years ago. Isn't that amazing? Whispers, suspicion about Epstein on Caribbean Island. Apparently they had a fire there recently. This is the Orgy Island location. There he is, Jeffrey Epstein, facing trial yet again. U.S. Virgin Islands, there's the location. Apparently it has, they don't even show you the secret, the palace dedicated to Lucifer. Okay, well that's, and now for the vampire sex cult leader allegedly cut Tinder date into 14 pieces. You know, I'm going to pass on that right now. Thanks. Back to you in the studio. Okay, enough with the links for a while, guys. Give us a break here. Not Bastille Day. Thank you. Thanks. My goodness. How do you expect us to have a show when you're hitting us with 15 links? This is not like my studio, dude. Jeez, can you believe this?
Well, they don't know how your video is, so, or anyway, and the difference. We're not, the only reason we're ignoring you is because normally we have monitors, like extra monitors in our studio so that we can actually grab from another monitor to show you the videos while we're watching chat. And in this one, David has to have the same window for both what he's displaying and the chat room. So when he's displaying any video, he has no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, thanks for explaining, because obviously they don't know what a mobile travel center is.
I know, everybody, you know, but you don't know that their perspective is that they don't know, so that's why I had to say. All right.
You're right.
Dave, someone said the sun changed from warm yellow in the 1980s to harsh white since 2000. Is that true?
You know, I don't know.
It could be because of the gases.
It could be. They're doing some sort of a spray in the atmosphere to block or create an ozone layer while they're destroying the ozone layer. This is how stupid and mindless what they're doing is. They are literally spraying a tremendous amount of chemicals in the atmosphere to block the sunlight, to replace what they think is the ozone. I got another one.
Oh,
and I got to tell you, folks, that's the most mindless theory ever.
Okay, thank you, Anita.
They're never going to be able to replace the ozone. So what are they doing? They're spraying aromatic hydrocarbons in the atmosphere like Freon, in some vain attempt to think that they're going to stop global warming. This is the most inane group of idiots in the world making decisions about what we breathe without any peer-reviewed studies. Right, this is America's ATP Light Studio. Exactly, thank you.
My patience has been tested, let's say that.
This has been a very, very difficult trip with all of the mosquitoes. And I got to tell you, we're leaving this area to avoid mosquitoes ASAP. I said, Sarah, as soon as I'm done fixing up the safe house, it's out of here. Seriously. We're gone. We're hitting the hotel circuit.
None at all, Hecht. I'm not that way. I'm that way. Not into it at all, so. That's one of the things that is amazing about David, how much he loves me, even though I'm not.
How many times have you been in the show and been banned? Is this your 5th banning time? My goodness.
Yep.
Wow. I'm surprised that you people even think you can come in here and with these new names and act like you're going to come in and troll my show.
I have so much great things going on in my life.
Yeah, that's good. We've got a lot of places we've been already. We've been to one of the most amazing locations in the country, Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we went to Mount Rushmore. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. We did a redo on Mount Rushmore because about 7 years ago, I chickened out and said, you know, Sarah, I don't really want to pay a $10 fee for parking the car. It turns out I'm a senior citizen now, and we got it for $5. So it was great. And then Sarah got the $8 tour, multimedia tour, which gave us a lot of information about the Mount Rushmore situation.
And what's really amazing is they said we could go back within a year for that same $5 parking.
Yeah, within a year we could use the same $5 coupon. Hi, Add the One. Greetings. Sorry you have to put up with the noise, but we've got a pretty good microphone here.
Yeah, that's true. So today you talk about killing spiders makes the bug problems bigger. I purposely did not kill 2 spiders today. I found 2 spiders, and one I sent down the drain, and one was a water spider. It was like, that was pretty big. The body was definitely like that big.
Oh, water spider, yeah.
That big. And, you know, the hands were like, with the hands it was like that big. And I took it outside. But I almost killed it. But I didn't. I saw it walking away.
I will be doing an unban in the future. I will. But we've got a guy named Melko who thinks that when I do the unban, I'm telling him to come on and stalk me because he has over 300 accounts. As soon as I do the unban all, he comes in with his 300 accounts and said, well you
Tom
told me
and
I need...
those people might be that same person. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Tom is actually Chet Kelly.
Okay.
He's one of our Nemesis T. Rucker supporters who basically still supports T. Rucker even though he faked his own death.
We are not doing a barbecue show this weekend. We're actually not doing a show this weekend.
Yeah, we're
David
actually...
has actually...
Yeah, I've gotten back to the 6 to 8 Monday through Friday show.
Yeah,
on the
he's
trip.
Taken Saturday and Sundays off for the summer, which I appreciate.
I know you're not Jenna Jameson. You're Jenna Jameson. David, can you purge every 7th comment automatically?
I'm sure somebody could do that with a code.
But I feel bad that I dragged Sarah all the way out here, but at this point...
Well, I dragged you all the way out here.
We both kind of dragged each other out on this trip. Yeah. So it's kind of good. We're doing a big, huge 1 month, maybe 2 month, maybe 1 month and 1 week trip, I think it'll be.
Hello, add the one.
Maybe a 5-week trip. And I'm sorry you've had to endure this, folks, because as you can see, the city is literally leaching through her shirt.
I know.
So
I have a cool...
No, that's great. I love it.
I have a green shirt on.
Yeah.
I like to wear the shirt when I teach people how to do green screen.
Exactly.
Because then it's like, see, you just like use it, and then it's like, it's really cool.
Well, the good thing about having the engine on is we have a charged battery we don't have to worry about. I almost think I should use hard drives and extend my abilities. Yes, the Mobile Travel Center has restroom facilities, but unfortunately they're outside at a local restaurant. We broadcast from Wi-Fi locations.
I haven't heard that, no, MS PowerPoint. I haven't heard any such thing. I definitely, no, I haven't heard anything, such thing like that, no.
I do believe
Not at this time. Not
Eric,
that I know of. I'll let you know if it changes, or no. Ask me again.
Eric, I do believe that Trump actually did have Jeffrey Epstein over at Mar-a-Lago in 2016. In 2015, he was even meeting with Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-a-Lago when he went there. I believe that there's records of Jeffrey Epstein meeting Trump on numerous occasions, dating back decades. So there's more than enough links between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And let's not forget that Donald Trump is the #1 number. He had 17 contact numbers on Jeffrey Epstein's black book that his butler found, along with many other people, Alan Dershowitz, etc. Many other people. We never hushed you. That's our mod who hushed you. Yeah, our mod doesn't like you, dude.
Oh, add the one. Okay. Well, the whole thing about David likes to allow people in.
Yeah, I want more people to come into the show, and I'm a big part of broadcasting. As you know, I'm one of the first broadcasters to do an endless show, live casting every day on the dot, without fail. Back in the early days of broadcasting on the internet, of course, I've been broadcasting for 35 years, really, since I started back in the early 70s. I was even as a kid doing audiovisual, but
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, the thing that I really like about broadcasting now is the regularity of it is essential if you want to keep your audience. You cannot leave the regular show format if you want to keep your audience. I've seen it happen back in the old days, in 2008. There were people getting 100, 200 views on various networks like Justin, and then they stopped broadcasting for a couple weeks, and then they went down to like 10 views. I saw it happen time and time again.
Well, we went on a trip to Vegas, and we stopped broadcasting for a week or two.
Yeah.
And we saw our views drop when we came back. It took us like a month to regain the views from just not broadcasting for those 2 weeks. And so we definitely saw ever since then, David saw the point of, it's way up there.
Oh, I see.
Good job. I think you got it. the point of always broadcasting, even when we go on trips.
Yeah, we learned the hard way really early on in this whole process.
Yeah.
Man, this cool air is awesome. Love it.
That's a good one, radio. Very good.
It's kind of fun to broadcast on the road. I must tell you, I'm enjoying every one of these broadcasts, even though it seems like a lot of work to get here and to do this. Today we had a thing we had to do in town. We had a bunch of garbage and waste in our safe house that we had to get to the dump.
You want a clean safe house.
Yeah.
And it's always a good time to clean things. Yes, I do need 2 chameleons. Well, the nice thing is some parts of your property here have dragonflies.
Yeah.
And then when I go and hang out near the dragonflies, and they definitely eat the mosquitoes, which has been really good.
The dragonflies are beautiful here. You know, I really enjoy the beauty of the lake that we stay at. And I got to tell you that we're literally drinking the water from the lake. I'm filtering it 3 times just to get it to. I use 0 water filters, and I can drink lake water this way. And it's amazing how clean the water is, even though we're still seeing chemtrails. And today I was out there, we were swimming, and we looked up at the sky, and we saw like 7 or 8 chemtrails, lines across the sky.
I know.
And it's like they're polluting this beautiful lake with the chemtrails. It's just everywhere I go in America now, I'm totally blown away by all the chemtrails that are just dumping on our heads.
MS PowerPoint. Didn't I tell you the story about why I lost my Mississippi accent? There's an entire reason that I lost my accent.
Yeah.
Well, one of them has to do about when I moved when I was in 3rd grade.
She moved to a different area.
So I was born there, but I only lived there till I was 8.
Yes, Mississippi's in the south.
Mississippi is in the deep
the heart
south.
of the south. Deep south.
Deep south.
Damsel flies to smaller dragonflies. Yeah, we love dragonflies. They're beautiful. We have like 10 or different, or I would say 5 different varieties where we are.
Well, and then I moved to California, the land of the newscaster, when I was in 4th grade. And not only was there people making fun of me for my Mississippi accent, but there's some other things. There's one way up there on the ceiling.
I see it.
Anyway, good, you keep getting them. That's great.
Can't be any more left in here. We've been running the engine for a half an hour. Well, yeah, I can totally understand your story, and it's legit, folks. Sarah and I are not agents of the government at all, ever.
What was pretty funny, though, I do have to say this story that I didn't really tell that many people. I don't know if David knows it. I was living in Riverside, California, and somebody asked me where I was born, and I said, the South, the Deep South.
The Deep South.
And the person said, what, like, San Diego?
The Deep South, San Diego, like that was LA, right? Hey, you're not allowed to promote him there. Yeah, thank you, Scissor Fight. Awesome kick. Good job kicking that guy. Now, I grew up with a lot of stigma as a kid, and we're talking about social issues.
Yeah.
Now, I was surprised to know that Mr. Rogers grew up as a fat, pudgy kid, right? He really was. I mean, we saw the picture in that recent movie of Mr. Rogers.
I know. That was totally not what I expected of him as a kid.
He was a fat, pudgy kid. Kids used to make fun of Mr. Rogers when he was a boy.
Maybe.
Well,
he was also, he had an illness and had to stay home a lot when he was a boy. They said that in the movie.
Really? Well, that would explain his strange demeanor. But I was kind of similar to Mr. Rogers when I was growing up. My mother decided that I was too thin. And at 10 years old, she says, "David, you need to get thicken out." So she gave me a glass of half and half or cream. Let me show you. The half and half, it was like ridiculous. I was drinking half and half, and after that, I started gaining weight. At 10, I was like really slender, and after that, I gained weight, and by 11, 12, 13, I was like the guy with a little middle around my midsection. And it was difficult because kids are brutal.
Yeah.
They'll make fun of anybody with a fat problem or anything. And when you grow up with that type of in your early puberty era, the social stigma issues, it can carry you throughout life. You have to I always think of body image. I'm always thinking of body image. I can't help it. And it's kind of unfortunate. It's like impregnated in my brain that I have to be worried about how I look at all times,
I did excel at standardized tests, but I was never, none of that other stuff ever happened. No, we're not sleeping here. Well, I could. Last night, I thought I could sleep in my car if I had to. It's quite comfortable car. You go like that, sleep.
Ace Spade is trying to negotiate a Playgirl spread for me. It's not going to happen, man. I would never do that.
I know all the women would love it because you are quite a handsome man.
Well, thank you, but I'm not at that. I don't believe in that type of behavior. It's reckless. It really is. It is an auto-driving car. We're traveling over the Chrysler Building in New York right now, and we've attached a blimp to it. So if it seems like I'm floating over the Chrysler Building, I am. My head is over the Chrysler Building. As you can see, this is the Chrysler Building behind me. Cut loose, dude. No, I don't believe in that. I wasn't raised in a nudist colony, okay? Just so you know. And I have traditional values about that. And, many of you were raised in a nudist colony, and I understand how you feel about that, but it's just inappropriate for me to do that, especially a presidential candidate. I'm not going to benefit from doing that type of thing. Yes, if you're recovering from a drug addiction, Mr. Rogers is very remedial.
Mr. Rogers is remedial for anyone.
Yeah, my hand looks like it's grabbing you.
We've been camping. That's funny.
It's the ghoulish hand that's grabbing you.
The shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I think Mr. Rogers is no longer part of our conversation. Now we should talk about something else on Wasteful Wednesday. I'm starting to feel my mosquito bite.
Oh.
It's the itch is starting.
Itch cream? It's really good.
I'm going to pass on it and just see if I can use mind over matter and tell myself not to touch my mosquito bite.
I tell myself that and I'm rubbing my leg against something just to scratch
that's the problem. It's just it enhances your mosquito bites.
Oh, God.
Well, we got rid of all the mosquitoes.
Really good.
We committed mosquito genocide today. We got rid of at least 12 or 15 mosquitoes in the past hour and a half.
Well, the thing is that, Tom, yesterday, New York EMT, was it yesterday? Anyway, he just comes in and starts questioning David and all of the things David's doing.
Yeah.
And that's why David probably banned him today, because David remembered feeling like everything I do is being questioned by this person. So this person doesn't really believe in me. Especially the chemtrails. He questioned the chemtrails and is like, "Oh, David, if you believe in chemtrails, then you're wrong." I mean, how does that make David feel?
It undermines my credibility as a person when I'm talking about things like chemtrails, and Patrick Murphy comes in and says, "Oh, they're all contrails," and continues to rub his point against the obvious fact that we're being sprayed like insects. You can be banned by many people.
Yes, Fishweir.
You're banned for being inappropriate statements about Sarah. Yeah. This is from 2018, but it still makes you wonder how the government, 5 outrageous ways the government has wasted money. Let's take a look. Okay. American families have hard choices about spending every day, carefully budgeting to make ends meet and plan for the future. Okay. You would think the national debt was now hit $21 trillion.
$374,000 spent watching grandma's dating habits.
Really? So $374,000 spent watching grandma's dating habits. $67 million spent on wild horse management. Oh, that's great. When they just shoot them? That's expensive to shoot them.
$43 million spent on a gas station
In Afghanistan. Wow. Millions spent marketing U.S. raisins in foreign countries. Oh my goodness. 2.6 million to help truckers diet. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to close the heater. I think I can stay in the room with just the windows closed at this point.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do that.
Let's see how long we can last with that.
Yeah.
Just don't open the windows.
I won't.
Okay. Yes, it would be good to if they wouldn't do that with their diets. All right. You support which one do you support, Susan? Would take care of me? Really?
That screen has
David.
to be taken down. We're looking at the chat.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll
take care of it. You have to hit this right here.
That's a good thing.
And just hit there. Then that gets rid of the story. Thank you. And we got rid of our title. Let me get that back in the show. Okay, everybody, we're watching America's Third Party. We're in the second hour of our 2-hour broadcast, 6 to 8. Thank you very much.
All right. Wow. You guys are hanging in there with us. Thank you so much.
Locking doors. Doors.
Well, I mean, I guess if they provided healthy food at truck stops.
I think they're replicating inside of here. I think they've got little water that they're replicating in here. They probably already seeded their youth.
No, I think like just 20 of them all came in at dusk.
Anyway, we got rid of most of them, okay?
Yeah, I agree. You did. Good job.
Ivan the Terrible. Could you read that for me? It's a little far.
Okay, it says, so cool last night I saw a possum. I recorded him. He was as big as a full-size cat. He was like 4 feet away from him. Wow. The possums love to eat cat food, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't like possums.
And we have...
I prefer raccoons.
We have a raccoon in our backyard. I saw it scamper away in Washington. We have so many animals in our backyard, and they all put up with the jets. It's amazing.
Well, because you're feeding them.
Well, I feed the birds. I don't feed the small rodents.
Well, you think you're feeding just the birds, but you're feeding the mice and the deer and the... small rodents.
We have an Amber question. Is Amber okay? And yes, she's really doing well for a 16-year-old cat. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not allowed to talk about other chat rooms here. This is a bannable offense. But Credo, I'm going to purge you. Thank you. There's nothing to talk about. They're trying to take advantage of our hour that we normally broadcast.
Yeah, I know.
They just jumped into a gap. We have a 2-hour show now, not a 9-hour show when we're on vacation. So this person you're talking about is just an opportunist. They don't have any credibility.
What did they say about flattery? Yes. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'll say.
That's a good one.
That's what I'll say about it. I know everybody wants to be like us.
Could you hand me that fluorescent light? I want to get some dirty energy.
Us.
By the way, this is a battery-operated fluorescent light, and it's the worst type of energy you can have. LED is safer than CFL.
Okay.
I'm just saying, CFL, compact fluorescent lighting, puts out dirty energy, whereas LED does not.
How do we know it's dirty?
Because
I've always wanted to ask that.
Because it's unpredictable. It's produced. It has erratic patterns of energy that create field energy that affect people.
Okay.
So if you strapped your fluorescent light onto your head, you could develop some long-term effects, maybe 10 or 15 years later. Like a big light beam next to your head could affect your eye or something. Yeah, but 20 years is, with a fluorescent light strapped to your head would be a little ridiculous. A few minutes isn't going to hurt me.
Well, maybe when New York EMT does some more information on chemtrails.
I'm the final word on everything, so if you have any questions, just ask me.
Okay. I guess Dave is the final word. All right.
I'm kidding.
Max up.
It's like I don't really want to be the final word on anything. Almost for a fight with homeless crackhead. Oh, you're having fights with homeless crackheads? Not a good idea, Ivan. They're on the edge, so chances are they're going to take you to the edge with them.
I don't. Maxed Out Credit says researchers have found a link between processed foods and autism. And he also said an outbreak of poop-eating slugs is infecting Hawaiians with brain parasites.
Wow.
I'm glad I'm not in Hawaii and don't eat that much processed foods. I do like the whole push that people are doing toward like the paleo diet or the whole foods program.
Yeah.
Where, it's like less processed foods. That's really good.
I actually am okay with the people that love carnivorous eating. I mean, there are people that are embracing meat eating now, claiming that we're all meat eaters and it's the best way to get amino acids rapidly to our system. I don't have a problem with that as long as they're not eating me. I mean, go ahead. I mean, the livestock industry is actually a pretty efficient industry. You can't raise any other type of food as efficient as you can setting a cow out in the grass and say, go at it, eat some grass, and then pretty soon you've got edible meat protein.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Ivan.
I thank you. Eat me.
All right, here's a link from Maxed Out Credit.
Oh, boy, another link. Well, if you want to send it over there, you send it. We can't do it. Digital subscription required. Oh, there's a link between processed foods and autism.
I'll give everybody the link.
Well, let's be clear. Michelle and I are very involved. We have a good relationship. Michelle and I are very close.
You think I'd have like 20 cats if I weren't with you, David? I don't necessarily know if that's true. I do like Amber, but I have said cat. I think it's too much work to have that many cats. I'm only going to have one furry animal, and that's Amber. And then once Amber's gone, that's it.
You have a 4-acre garden that's full of musteladias? I know. I have so many musteladias, I can't even keep up with them. What the hell is a musteladia?
I don't know. Some kind of natural pesticide?
Jeez. We're going to have to look that up. You're hitting us with some big words there, buddy. Musteladias. Well, let's be clear. Let's be unclear.
Is that like mustard plant family?
Raising cattle is poor biomass. No, actually, raising cattle is a very good use of biomass costs. We read an article recently about raising animals and raising cattle, and the minimal amount of effort goes into raising cattle versus soybean farming of genetically modified soybeans, so you can eat a veggie burger and probably get so many esters in your body you'll become gay. I think you have to really readjust your democratic-leaning thinking there, Mr. Progressive. You've been reading too much libtard garbage and propaganda about raising meat. Get your head in the right direction, okay? Our livestock industry is here to stay, buddy. Get your liberal democratic head out of your butt. Thank you.
They're ferrets, basically.
Jeez.
Ferrets.
So he's got a natural pesticide. He's got all these ferrets running around his property. Sounds to me like you're into gerbils, buddy. Yeah, so you've got ferrets, but you may have gerbils too. You don't even know it. Yeah, deal with your gerbil issues somewhere else, not in our Wasteful Wednesday show, okay? Thank you.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Ivan. Maxed Out Credit also says climate change is increasing the range and number of ticks, and health risks of consuming highly processed foods are worse than previously believed. Both of those, I believe. Yeah, it's crazy. There were ticks found. Yeah. Ticks. Yeah, this woman we met recently was hit by a tick. We talked about it the other day. She went into a cemetery and she was praying, and the tick arrived and it had Lyme's disease. We met her a month later, and her whole face is completely shut down. She's paralyzed. She has Bell's palsy. Yeah. Unbelievable. I've yet to ever see anything that horrific. And she's on antibiotics now, and they wouldn't give her intravenous. They said, oh, you got to go through the insurance company, so you got to get your oral antibiotics for a full 15-day course, and then they give you another type of antibiotics for another 10-day course before you can qualify for actual intravenous antibiotics, which is the only way to stop this problem. Bell's palsy is serious. Your whole body freezes up. All because of a tick.
So you can understand why I'm concerned about Sarah and her mosquito bite issue. And there is one mosquito in here, just so you know.
And I got some weird one bite right here. Like, it's, I don't know if it is a mosquito bite or if it's something else.
Well, you know, today when I
It's
was
not
working
like
on
the
the
mosquito
when I was working
bites.
on the cabin, I encountered, it was the weirdest thing. I'm wearing shirts and I'm looking down. I'm seeing these black flies land on me and going right into my pants. They were literally going right into my pants. He's like, yeah, I think I'll find a place and just knit right through my pants, my thick pants. And darned if I didn't feel it. I
bet
felt
you
that
did.
bite. Yeah, I got rid of it, but jeez. Okay, a short-tempered man got furious rant in a bagel shop and about women hating men under 5 feet before he challenges a customer twice his size to a fight who promptly tackles him to the ground. Well, thanks, Bengalitis. I don't even know if I want to see that link. Man goes furious rant, women hating man. I don't know. I don't want to look at it. No, who cares? You know, just because a guy is a misogynist and he runs around hating women, and we would give him airtime. I'm 6'6", 6'4". Thank you. I would have been 6'6" had my mother not smoked cigarettes when she was carrying me as a child. Yeah, I kind of resent that. But I wanted to be 300 pounds and 6'6". Instead, I became 230 pounds, 6'4". I would have been a much bigger guy if my mother hadn't smoked 10 cigarettes a day. No, truly, they found that nicotine will reduce the size of the fetus by 15 to 25%.
Wow.
So I would have been like 300 pounds, 6'6" right now. I would have been a football player.
Okay.
I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
And then in the chat, we've got people promoting ferrets and people promoting the return of New York EMT.
Well, that's Tom. Tom wants to talk about that. You know, the gerbil discussion was just a tangent on Social Wednesday. We can talk about anything. It's Wasteful Wednesday. We can waste the entire 40 minutes remaining in the show talking about nothing. Trump isn't talking about anything. You know, Trump made 255 times what he would make in salary just on Secret Service hotel costs at Trump hotels when he goes golfing. That's a serious story, everybody. This week, news broke that Trump had made 255 times his normal salary simply by ordering golfing trips and forcing the Secret Service to stay in his hotels.
Wow.
Are you hearing me? I mean, this is like unbelievable what he's doing. He's profiting from the White House, and the American people are just sitting around going, duh. Whoa, what's that? That is weird.
What? Oh, that's a moth.
Is it?
It's no problem.
Well, it's dead now. It was a moth. If it didn't die, I stunned it, and now it's just in recovery mode. We should probably get the paddles and hook it up and do moth CPR. Moth to moth CPR.
There's so many insects around here. It's
I know.
weird.
I hate Bemidji.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I should never tell people where I am.
I saw another one.
Oh gosh, Bemidji. How do people
There
live
it
out
is.
here? Oh, you spotted it.
I did not get it though.
I'll shine my light on it so you can see it. Yeah, 6'4" is really tall. You know, Abe Lincoln was 6'4". I pretty much look like Abe Lincoln. I admit that. Okay, we're gonna have to ban that guy right there. That's a bannable offense. You can't use the N-word in our show ever. We don't support racism. My goodness, what's wrong with you people? I'm an integrationist. I strongly believe in integration. But not forced busing like the kind Kamala Harris said she had when she was a rich little girl. I mean, what is wrong with Kamala Harris? Her whole family has... Kamala Harris has been disowned by her whole family. You know that, right? Man, they're
Where
aggressive.
are they getting in?
I don't know. There must be like a
air
hole
conditioning
somewhere.
vents or something.
I think they are going through the air conditioning vents.
Oh,
But, you know,
weird.
Kamala Harris has been completely condemned by her family. She makes up stories about how she was bussed around the community when she was a rich little girl, and she calls herself a person of color. I don't know what color she is. Isn't she like orange or something? She looks like Donald Trump to me. You know, I don't
looks more like Obama.
I think she looks, well, Obama looks more white than he does black. I think I have a mosquito bite right here. Under my cheek.
Right
you see
here?
it?
Oh yeah, you do.
Could you get me some of that cream?
Yeah.
And apply it topically?
Yeah.
She's going to apply topical cream to my mosquito bite.
So adorable.
Thank you, Sarah. It's kind of like Clarisol for older men.
Where else is it?
What's that on your face? Dude, it's a mosquito bite. It's not a zit. I don't get adult acne, okay? Is that good?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. Does it feel better?
Yes, but tonight you'll give me a full check for ticks in case a full body check for ticks with the laser light. I'd appreciate that. Use the fluorescent beam to check my body for. Okay, I know your obsession with New York EMT, but we're not going to ever unban him. You just fried your EMT account. I don't know what the CIA is not tracking us, unless, of course, the chemtrails are a result of the CIA tracking us, because I swear, everywhere I look, there's chemtrails in the sky, no matter where I go. I'm not kidding, either. I did like Ross Perot. He's a heck of a guy. Now see here.
Ross Perot died last.
You were the first person to vote for Ross Perot.
Well, I wasn't the first person to vote for Ross Perot, but Ross Perot was the first person that I voted for.
Well, now that's a semantical thing. Now there you go again. You go again.
I am very correct with my grammar. Yes.
Well, yes, you are.
I use the same words, but in a different order, they mean something completely different. Yes.
Well, now see, the chart says that Sarah said the right thing, and I want to say the charts worked for Ross Perot. You know, if we showed you a chart right now of the economy overspending, it's like massive overspending. Trump has overspent $1 trillion per year. You hear that sucking sound? Those are your tax dollars being sucked out of your pocket to pay for Trump's Mar-a-Lago retreat. Here's a guy who cut money, $7 million, for Meals on Wheels, and then spent $200 million on his golfing. He cut Meals on Wheels for Grandma and Grandpa, but he wants to go golfing, and we have to pay the bill, and he gets to profit from that. I mean, come on, people. The Democrats aren't doing a damn thing. Pelosi is not even capable of gathering enough steam for impeachment. We need a third party. This is crazy. Well, let's be clear. You know, there's not a lot of homeless people here. You notice that?
I have to say, I think you killed all the mosquitoes. Thank you.
Have you noticed that there's not a lot of homeless people in this area?
That's because it's too
crappy. It's because people live in hovels. And they have homes, even though they're not homeless.
It's too safe here.
But people live in cardboard boxes here, and they're nice. They're like tiny homes.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's because everybody like lives in a house here.
You know, that is not the worst accent ever. You have been pulled out of the show. This is a fourth mute we put on you, buddy, tonight. I even know who you are. I'm not reading your IP.
Oh, yeah, we just know you from who you are. Yeah.
We are using ChatDar to analyze your existence.
Wow.
You want a foot rub or something?
Yeah, that's what I love, a foot rub.
Okay, let's do a foot rub. Let me move my fluorescent dirty energy light over here. Okay. Whoa. Okay, Sarah's going to get a foot rub in the last 30 minutes of the show. 35 minutes we have.
I can give you a foot rub if you want to.
No, it's okay. You deserve it.
Yeah, okay.
You know what these things cost, these foot rubs cost at the South Korean
like $100.
Malls? That they no, it's $52.95. I know, I priced them out.
What was it, did you say?
They're $52.95 for a half-hour foot rub by an Asian woman.
$2.95. It's
$52.95, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it includes tax. I mean, I tried to find out how much does it cost to rub my feet? I walked into this mall. I said, how much to rub my feet for a half an hour?
Yeah, they did say foot massages.
Now, it does not come with a happy.
I do remember David going in there. And David has this memory for, like, numbers. He's like, I'll say, man, I think I want to get rid of this thing. Don't you remember when we bought that in, like, 2002? It was $7.63.
I know. I have, like, a savant memory of how much money I spent on things. For real. I do. I know exactly what I spent on everything.
I'm like, what?
I know.
who cares? Time to get rid of that.
Well, there's a lot of issues going on that we cannot resolve in our show, but I can tell you that Wasteful Wednesday deals with the tremendous amount of pollution in our country. And Sarah and I are dedicated to legalization of marijuana, even though she's never tried it. So I think that's perfectly fine.
Oh, it would not be that surprising, Carito. But they can't make David stop. Oh my goodness. That heel has been bothering me, bothering me. Oh.
Well, you have a thing called,
goodness.
You've got a heel issue. That
right there is like
do you have this,
painful.
You know, you might even have bone spurs because Trump has bone spurs. He wasn't able to go to Vietnam 5 different times. He has bone spurs. He can't walk. Trump's never had bone spur operations on his feet, but somehow he avoided Vietnam. That means that Trump is a draft dodger. Yeah. How do you like having a draft dodger for a president who's willing to start a war with Iran on a moment's notice? Think about that, folks.
Oh, I'm so sorry they're messing your life up, Carito.
I'm sorry they're messing your life up for transmission issues.
That's so good.
Well, Sarah, it's not easy. It's not easy to please, except when I find that at the base of her soul is her heel, and that's what's in pain. You're welcome, Saffron Rice. We do the show because we love it, not because we're making any money doing this. And that's the power of the people. That really is the power of the people, because we have the ability to tell people about a third party. And by you talking about a third party and telling people about what we're encountering here in America, the censorship, you're actually helping us more than you could ever imagine. We're not based on a money system. We're based on a word-of-mouth system. And that's how we're beating these elitists at their game of buying the media.
Rip Torn's died?
No, Rip Torn was such a great actor.
Oh.
I'm torn up about Rip Torn.
Wait, is it the same person I'm thinking of?
I don't think that Trump should have committed to draft dodging multiple times. I think that was wrong of him to get his father to write a podiatrist note.
That's going to help me so much.
You know the women that, they're the daughters of the podiatrists that wrote those notes that got him off the Vietnam draft that killed 58,000 men in America? The podiatrist daughters said that their father never paid rent. And you know who their landlord was?
Fred Trump.
Fred Trump, that's right.
You
Fred
know how
Trump.
I know that?
Because I told you 4 times.
Yes.
Okay. I even know how many times I've told you that.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So we've got a draft-dodging president who wants to start a war with Iran. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
They don't have a draft right now.
Unbelievable.
Carito.
No.
They do have the selective service. Oh my God.
Isn't that the best rub you could ever get? Why did you ask me for that earlier?
Because I don't know. My foot is just like...
You know, I could have rubbed your heel any time.
I know it needs like extra. Oh, there it is.
Where are they coming from? It must be a vent duct of some sort.
No,
Okay, well, we're going to let it pass.
Oh my goodness, that heel! I think I have bursitis.
That's
I am
the beginning.
definitely getting old.
That's the bone spur issue. You got to have your. If you get.
I don't have a. Don't
No. I'm saying
spurs,
bursitis. Bursitis. It leads to the bone spur issue. So we really got to get you on better carpeting. The safe house only has like concrete on the floor. So.
I know.
We've got concrete floors everywhere. So she's really having pain in her feet.
It's hot too. It's my left heel.
Yeah.
Well, I have this, like...
Heel?
I have a callus on the pad of my foot, on the same left foot.
It's my safe house. I have a concrete floor next to the bunker. It's steel reinforced, but, you know, it's kind of, we bought some padding, and she put out 8.5, 10 feet of padding, which is like, you know,
really
mosaic cushions that connect, and then we lay the carpeting.
It's called, what is that called? Fatigue mats?
Fatigue mats. We put some fatigue mats out.
That helps a lot, but I didn't get enough.
You'll never come back to this safe house, so you don't have to get any fatigue
mats. And that's
mats.
the thing is, like, well, I kept going back and forth, well, do I buy more fatigue mats? Because it would help my feet. I don't like this place enough to come back to. Unless I really need to be safe. That's the only way I'd come back here.
You know, we've got so much battery power.
Like
I should jack up the
safe enough.
I should jack up the hard drive and play some Larry Sinclair for people.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Break free for the safe house.
Are you running off of the thing? We're not running off the
No, KY
AC,
Poopy.
are we?
We're heading all over the country, so we'll be in various cities across the country. None of you will be able to meet with us because, as you know, we have numerous death threats against us.
Remember when
Me especially.
Okay, right, with the battery and all that?
We're more than okay. After running the car for a good half an hour, we have
good.
no charge problems at all on our batteries. We could actually do an extra hour, but I'm not going to do it.
This doesn't pull from the battery like that other day. The other thing was pulling from the battery, even though it was
the AC
off.
inverter is off, but you just disconnect it right there.
Okay.
I'll unplug it here.
Okay.
There you go. So there's no drain at all.
Okay.
CBS All Access upcoming Picard series got a brand new poster teasing the addition of one critical member to the cast, Jean-Luc's new #1 a dog who apparently... Thanks, Max, but that's a little bit obscure for tonight, even on Wasteful Wednesday. A restaurant chain announces bankruptcy, minimum wage hike to blame. Wow, okay, this is not unusual. The Democrats keep pushing $15 an hour minimum wages for people. And it's not unusual for people, for restaurants to close down because of it. Yeah, restaurants can't afford $15 an hour for actual. Yeah, restaurants can't do that. No, in fact, restaurants have to. They're forcing people to pay taxes on their wages. The IRS asks every waitress how much you expect to make per hour, and then they assess their tax. So anybody who's working as a waiter and he doesn't have a regular clientele base still has to pay taxes to the IRS. It's screwed up.
Anyone who is a waiter but doesn't they still have to pay taxes to the
Yeah,
IRS?
in fact, most waiters are approached by the IRS now, and they ask the restaurants, how much do you project to make per day? Then they levy a tax on those waiters that they have to pay even though they aren't getting tips or customers. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how the IRS operates with waiters.
Yeah.
So they can't possibly maintain restaurants with a minimum wage of $15 an hour and still pay the taxes necessary for those waiters on the tips. It's crazy. People can't make any money in America doing that. The Democrats are trying to kill business.
What is a tulpa? And I told you earlier in the show, people asked if I was AI, and I said, no, I'm RI, the real intelligence.
That's good.
And,
I like that. As opposed to artificial intelligence. That's
and
good.
now they're talking, one said that they want to make a tulpa. I think that's some kind of robot with some other body in my mind.
Ooh.
But you'll never have my real intelligence. Of course. It would be like, of course they would want to mimic artificial intelligence after me because I'm the real intelligence.
So look at that. Yeah, there you have it.
Got it.
You got it. Nice shot, Sarah. A large employer in the Seattle metro market, for instance, the company was one of the first in the market. The minimum wage was not the only factor restaurants unlimited blame for their impending bankruptcy, but the company also cited a pair of soft restaurant openings and a decline in casual dining, forcing to institute wage hikes. You know, people won't dine in places in Seattle because they don't have straws. Now, say you walk into a restaurant and you're like drooling, you know, and you say, hey, please, could I get a straw? And you're like, and they won't even give you a straw.
Wow.
Say you had your mouth clamped shut.
Maybe they won't give you plastic straws, but they can sell you.
We are in a spaceship, yes. Overlooking the city of New York.
They could sell you metal straws for more money.
But we need straws, and I think the Democrats have gone off the deep end banning straws and hot dogs in New York. De Blasio has banned hot dogs in New York. Who wants to go to New York and not get a hot dog? I mean, come on. I mean, when I go to New York, I want one of the best hot dogs that Coney Island can create. You know what I'm talking about?
A Sylvian?
Yeah. Hot dogs should not be banned, especially in New York. I mean, where is de Blasio coming from here? You know what I'm talking about?
I heard about these, like, metal straws with cleaners or something.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. They use pipe cleaners to clean out their metal straws.
I can't even go there. Because, those people are probably on crack or speed
they're
or
just
something like
naturalist people.
No, I think they're meth heads who carry their own stainless steel straws around with
I'm talking
them.
about, like, they're environmentalists who carry their own stainless steel straws around with them.
There are. And there are meth heads who are environmentalists, too, yeah. Okay, well, maybe they do that. But what about bamboo straws? They're available on Amazon.
Yeah, but they might have more bacteria in the bamboo.
Okay, stainless steel straws for the win here on Wasteful Wednesday.
They already have them.
I know.
And they
Metal drinking straw fatally impales a woman through her eye after a brain fall. Let's take a look at this story from KTLA Los Angeles. We're going live to our...
God, I don't want to see this.
This is not something for the faint of heart. Let's take a look. A British woman has died after metal drinking straw impales her through the eye. So here Sarah's talking like, oh, they have metal straws, and the person literally had it go through her eye. Luckily, there's no photographs to prove that she had it.
Okay, thank God.
Okay, thank you for that great story, brought to you by one of our chatters. Well, let's be clear. There's a lot of waste in our government. I'm telling you, $2.6 million to help a trucker's diet? That's crazy. I just think that we should go back to plastic straws and get the Democrats to face up to the fact that they need to stop Dow Chemical and glyphosate from being dumped everywhere. I mean, here they care about the straws, but they don't care about the number one cause of cancer in America. Many of us are urinating Roundup. 93% of us are urinating Roundup, including, well, not me because I don't eat it. But you guys are mostly urinating Roundup. Yeah. Well, let's be clear.
I keep itching.
Oh no.
It's something I have to
Well, this really helped, that salve you put on my face. I don't even want to touch my mosquito bite.
Okay.
Now, that's a good way to get rid of weeds, actually. Urination. It's better than Roundup. If you just urinate on your weeds, they'll go away.
Well, New York EMT's not here to hear you say that. He was the one that brought up the Roundup issue.
I know. Poor guy. He's been banned. Dave, what's the best way to get rid of bad indigestion? Stop overeating.
Don't eat 4 hours before you sleep.
Right.
Drink lots of water. And if you have eaten, lay on your left side. But really...
Your stomach's on your left side, right. Yeah.
The best thing is to not eat 4 hours before you go to sleep.
It's a secret where we are located. We can't tell you the time or day.
I'm on vacation. I don't like talking about time, except I know David has his show. Fortunately, he's gotten it down to 2 hours. We are... And only 5 days a week.
Thank you.
What
David.
time is it? We are 21 minutes to the end of the show. That's about what time it is.
Leyland Palmer says, David, have you considered selling the water from your swim spa after you bathed? Yes, but I drained it. When I left my home, I drained my swim spa. So no, it's all gone. It's been watering the vegetables. Yes, but Scissorfied said, whatever happened to paper straws? You're so right, Scissorfight. I mean, what the heck? I mean, paper straws, remember those?
Yeah, why not use paper straws?
I hear you, man. Or paper bags. I mean, remember when they used to ask you paper or plastic, and I would always say paper?
And then, yeah, and you know what the other thing is, like, people said, oh, here's a compostable straws. Like those ones that have to be composted in a commercial composter that we don't have in our town. Why are you giving me a compostable straw?
And they burn energy to get these things to melt too. The commercial contest, the commercial
it's basically plastic.
It is basically
made
plastic.
out of corn.
It's
just like they add
ridiculous.
ethanol to your car.
Yeah.
I mean, and they say, oh, well, that's made out of corn. That's like plastic made out of corn. Seriously, people, no.
Come on, people now.
Why call it compostable? Just because it's made out of corn? And it can be melted in a commercial composter with other... They take dirt to these commercial composters, or they take food scraps to the commercial composters, because they're worried about, like, food illnesses. They burn everything, and then there's no nutrients left in the soil, and then they call it compost.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a lot of good YouTube links for me to watch. I have to add them to my section on a woman died in the UK after falling into a metal straw that went through her eye and impaled her brain.
Thank you, Maxed Out Credit. Hello, hello.
We got that story already, and details of her gruesome death are not something we're going to show here.
Oh, Harvey's restaurants have come up with a thin wall paper straw with a harder paper reinforced cover. Nice.
Well, that's good.
Paper is fine. I don't see paper as a...
Conservatives grasp at straws after CBO minimum wage analysis shows clear benefits. You know, you're pulling up stories now. You're doing a word search for the word straw, and you're coming up with links. That's just inappropriate. You know, I can't bring that link in right now. I'm so sorry. Don't tell Sarah how to make hot dogs. She hates hot dogs.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. She knows how much... You know, Sarah got me off of my hot dog addiction. I actually did buy some hot dogs for food storage in our freezer at home.
I know.
But bear in mind, they are all beef, no nitrates. So,
I know.
just so you know. And they were 50 cents a package. So all beef,
I know.
no nitrates, not pork byproducts. So
I know.
It wasn't so bad. But I buy them for survival food, basically. But honestly, they are really bad for you, generally speaking. But don't take my hot dog from Coney Island away, you know? This is ridiculous. She got me off of my hot dog addiction. Burp on Scramble. Are you the same guy who was in last night quoting me, Mr. Haney? Seems like that's another of your usernames, Mr. Haney. You're doing exactly what Mr. Haney was doing last night. It's good I've got good vision because I can read the chat from 6 feet away.
Yeah, that's true. I don't necessarily. I have to definitely wear my glasses.
Yeah. Well, I have 20/25 vision, which means I see better than 99% of the population.
I'm glad I have my glasses. I'm very thankful for them.
Me too. Well, you want to talk about your glass incident the other day?
Sure.
Sarah was in our area near the lake where we have lake property. We were near the lake and she was hit with massive mosquito attacks, and you go
Well,
from there.
I wanted to look at the lake because at least then I'd be like, okay, I'm away from the mosquitoes, or I can anyway. It would calm me down from being bitten by mosquitoes, but as I'm walking there and I'm almost there, mosquitoes are buzzing my head.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 10 of them there, and I didn't have the net on at the time, and I went to like swat a mosquito, and I went like this, wah, wah, and my glasses completely flew off.
Oh yeah.
And near there is like, well, all of the underbrush is like knee high, and so
It was frustrating. She didn't know where her glasses were.
basically I just stopped, and I had basically swiped my glasses off my face.
Yep.
So I stopped and was feeling the ground completely, and I said, I'm going to go look at the lake, and David says, I'm going back to the safe house to go get something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, so Applegate makes hot dogs?
Anyway.
Really? Applegate makes hot dogs with only grass-fed beef, water, and seasoning. Applegate. There you go.
Good. That sounds good.
Well, let's be clear. Well, Sarah was in a panic. 15 minutes later, I got to her, and she was in a panic looking for her glasses. And it was scary because we didn't bring a backup pair on our trip. You'd be fishing all day. Yeah, I know. You fished up
And
there at
then
Big Bear Lake.
I
I
found
remember
something that it looked like water. I just thought, is it some kind of strange puddle because of the lake nearby? And so I reached for it, and it was my lens.
Right.
And then I found one lens, and then I found the rest of the glasses right near there, and I'm like, great.
Mm-hmm.
I found my glasses, but they're broken.
That was scary.
And then David somehow managed to put them back together. I don't know how he did that.
I did it very easily. I have amazing skills at optometry. Yeah. Global online extremism. Wow. Huh. I have to clear up more room on this drive tonight. We're running out of space, yeah. Trump invites a right-wing extremist to the White House social media summit. Watch this, folks. Oh my goodness. Right-wing extremists he's inviting to social media. Some of the right-wing media universe biggest stars are setting up to descend on the White House Thursday for what has been billed a social media summit. Wow. It will likely be becoming a forum at CNN on anti-conservative social media bias. Wow, so they're going to talk about how they've been mistreated, these poor conservatives, when we've been completely censored as centrists in the media. Well, that makes sense. That's a typical CNN move. Thank you for that link. Yeah. CNN's always bitching and complaining about right-wing people, but they have every right to have their views just like we do in the center of the political spectrum, and we're being censored. I'm going to start up the engine again, just to, air out the place. All right.
Where do they make the tulpa? Is it something tangible, or is it only in your mind? This tulpa that you talk about. Good night, Sosadi.
Could you plug the AC jack in for me?
Yes, I can. Okay. Before I didn't do it yet.
Okay, it'll work.
Okay, now I did.
Okay, we'll cool this place down a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh.
Totsy.
Video will play some kind of delayed site. Okay. Oh, yes, I think I do have that elongation of the eyeball due to reading. Because I used to read a whole lot. In not the best light. Now I try to just listen to audiobooks instead of doing too much reading. Okay. Just binge ate after fasting all day. Now you don't feel so hot. The best time to binge eat is in the morning to give you energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
Do you think you're eating your problems? Sarah, is that possible? Yes, that's very possible. How do you think the people that get obese? Because they eat away their problems. They think that they can eat all of their problems. But you can't. I mean, you can, but it's not healthy for you. Do you have someone you can talk to about your problems? Actually, I'll tell you the best thing for me is this. It's my journal.
It's my journal.
And I got a really cool thing as a gift from someone. I love this. It's my pen light. Wait.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's a cool bit.
And so then I use this to write my journal at night. So anyway. But I do love my journal because then I can write all my problems down. Or, if I don't have someone to talk to about them. And go for a walk and breathe, do deep breathing.
Yeah, there you go.
And, try to find a confidant. But if you can't find a confidant,
that's a good start.
Journal. Be your own confidant.
Well, I just recycled about 14 gigs of crap. Okay? So I think we got more room in the drive now, naturally. I noticed that some of these hard drives don't always, are recognized by the computer. It's like you have to find the right USB port on some of these things. Yeah, 14 gigabytes that already put on a backup drive. And we got them on YouTube if you want to watch them. I did load 2 YouTube shows onto YouTube.
Thank you.
For all of you who want to see some of our other broadcasts, we do have more YouTube shows out there now. But I posted them at David John Sponheim, so I'll give you guys the link. Yeah, 2 of our other car casts are pretty funny. if you want to watch more of us tonight, you can go to the David John Sponheim's YouTube account, and they should be the most recent uploads. They're hilarious. They are literally raw, uncut. You can check out how I struggled with the camera early on in our show. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, max out credit. You have bladder cancer echogram on Saturday.
Uh-oh. That's no fun.
Well,
Gosh.
I will say this. The lady that had the tick,
Yeah.
her dad had bladder cancer, but he lived to a ripe old age of like 83,
Yeah.
93, 83.
Bladder cancer didn't kill him.
And
It was a
it
heart
wasn't
attack.
bladder cancer that killed him.
It was a heart attack.
It was a heart attack.
Yeah,
And
so they've got good methods
and
for
they
bladder.
had to go in a few different times to scrape away the bladder cancer cells.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you do have bladder cancer, there's definitely some hope.
You know, the fact that Mark is benefiting from our trip being cut from, our broadcast being cut from 9 hours to 2 hours, 5 days a week, means nothing to me. Mark
And I
has
don't
made
believe you because you
Yeah.
couldn't even spell Mark Vaughn earlier when you first started typing.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you at all.
Right, Sarah doesn't believe you. Yeah, so you have to gain her credibility factor. Is not happening. Oh, Rhapsody, yeah, we can't play music right now, man. We'll do that another night. Well, Mark has been benefiting from censoring us, and even though he's now admitting to censoring us, he's made a lot of money censoring us, which is illegal. Mark is just grabbing viewers right now where we're not broadcasting
848,
that time
at least
period.
that comment made 848 over at iVlog laugh. Mark's benefiting from your trip.
Well, no, Mark makes a lot of money censoring us, which is illegal.
Oh, censoring
so
us, yes. He's not making money from our trip because David's not doing as much broadcasting, so he can't make as much money when David's not doing as much
But he's
broadcasting.
fulfilling his handler's request to stop us from broadcasting, not realizing that we actually had to take a vacation before we pushed for 2020. This vacation was essential because I'm not going to be able to go out to my safe house in 2020. I'm going to be too busy.
I would too, Leyland. Exactly.
Mark is making tons of money attacking, basically censoring
Me
us.
too, Saffron. Okay.
Okay, a JP Morgan cargo ship has been seized with 20 tons of cocaine. Wow, that does not surprise me.
So this is your coffee cup tomorrow.
Well, frankly, we've got other places to watch our show besides Mark. You can watch us at coolrock.com. Coolrock.com has the iVlog feed on it, and it doesn't pay Mark anything. Mark isn't making money over there. iVlog is not. I heard iVlog is not using Point Hive like Mark is.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Well, this has been a heck of a 2-hour broadcast. We actually did about 15 minutes of pre-show.
Oh God, thank you. You're so sweet. You're always giving me little rubs and back rubs. I so
Saffron,
appreciate
you got to look at Mark's recent acquisitions of brand new cars. And if Mark did buy iVlog, then I stand corrected. Yeah, he's made millions and millions. One person said that Mark has made nearly $1 billion censoring our show.
I guess.
Which means that during this time period, our donations have come to zero. So I have enough to actually charge Mark with a Class C felony for FEC violations. I can do that. He has at the very least committed a Class C felony limiting my access to my open public market. So, yeah. Many of you people who need money don't understand how evil it is and corrupt it is to take money to censor somebody. I'll be back full time after the vacation that Sarah is taking. She gets 2 months off as a teacher, so we have to take at least 1 month on the road, and hopefully she'll have 3 weeks of downtime just to enjoy life, because I'm not going to go ahead with the lawsuit because Mark has unlimited funds to fight me on the lawsuit. Why would I want to take somebody who's taking money to censor me to sue them? It'd be foolish for me to do that. Think about it. The FBI won't even respond to my call. God, what world do you think you were living in? A country that's free and democratic? You must be out of your mind. You know, I've got some local corruption in my local area, and I called the prosecuting attorney. Actually, I wrote the prosecuting attorney an email about the corruption, which they themselves have been investigating. And they told me that they don't have the tax funds to go after this investigation, that I should call the local police. I'm serious. The same people that swatted me. They told me I should call the local police on some local corruption, white-collar crime issues I'm dealing with. It's just absurd. I'm not going to call the local police to complain about white-collar crime in my area. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is how absurd and you know, ironically, my taxes have gone up $500 a year for the past 3 years, and they don't have enough money to investigate white-collar corruption. Don't you think that's a little weird? It's unbelievable how corrupt our local city governments are, folks. And one of the things I'm going to do to enhance your ability to get the corruption out of your area is I'm going to be offering an 800 number to anybody who wants to complain about their local community, and we will put together a federal task force to stop local corruption. I promise you that. No, I won't sue Mark until I'm president of the United States. Then we'll be looking at what he's been doing. Yeah. I'm not going to take any action, civil or criminal, against Mark or anyone else until I'm president of the United States. Tom, why don't you just bag it for a while? That'd be great. Hey, great, we're Final Dream. I'm not going to take your link. We're reaching the end of the rope in our show, so as much as we'd love to keep talking, and talking is what we do, we can't possibly keep the show beyond 2 hours when we're on vacation. But thank you guys for all that.
Yeah, thanks for watching our show. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being loyal viewers.
Yeah, it's been great. And you know, this mic is it's picking us up pretty well, even though we have to talk very low into it.
Yes, thank you so much for watching our show. We really appreciate all your loyal support, and see you next time.
And don't forget, my videos are available. The most recent actually are not uploaded, but I managed to upload 2 of them to YouTube. And that's an incorrect spelling, so let me get the spelling right. It'd be great if I could get the link right, you know. My name is not Spoheim. There you go.
Sorry.
No, it's my fault. Okay, there's the real link, folks, to the videos that I was going to tell you about earlier. I did upload 2 other broadcasts. If you want to watch them, feel free. I think that'll work, right? Thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. As another signing off, a Wasteful Wednesday, and we'll take on the big corruption in our government tomorrow at 6 to 8 show as we continue this effort. Okay, signing off with free love.